Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn Simple English. I'm Ella.
And I'm Luke. Great to have you here today.
So we've been getting a lot of requests from our viewers asking us to do a lesson specifically about how to talk about yourself in English, how to introduce yourself, present who you are, and describe your background clearly and confidently.
That's such an important topic. Whether you're in a job interview, meeting new people, or just having a conversation, knowing how to talk about yourself is absolutely essential.
Absolutely. Today we're going to teach you how to introduce yourself, talk about your background, and present yourself in English. This is useful for so many situations: interviews, networking, meeting new friends, or even just casual conversations.
We'll cover useful vocabulary, phrases, sentence structures, and we'll practice with real examples. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel confident answering questions like, "Tell me about yourself," or "What do you do?"
So let's get started. But before we begin, if you enjoy learning English in a simple and natural way, please like this episode, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Learn Simple English.
And we want to give a special shout out to everyone learning with us. Thank you so much. We are so happy to have you in our Learn Simple English learning community.
All right, let's dive in. First, let's talk about what we mean by talking about yourself.
Right. When someone says, "Tell me about yourself," what exactly do they want to know? It depends on the situation, but generally they want to understand who you are, what you do, where you're from, and what makes you interesting or unique.
Think of it as your personal story. It's not just facts and dates. It's how you present yourself to the world. And here's the key. You need to adjust what you share based on who you're talking to and why.
Exactly. Let me give you the key components of talking about yourself. Number 1, your basic information, your name, where you're from, what you do. Number 2, your background, your education, your work experience, your journey so far.
Number 3, your interests and passions, what you enjoy doing, what excites you. Number 4, your skills and strengths, what you're good at, what makes you unique.
And number 5, your goals and aspirations, where you're going, what you're working toward. When you combine all of these elements and present them clearly and confidently, you create a strong introduction that helps people understand who you are.
Yes, it all comes together to tell your unique story. Now let's tackle the most common question. Tell me about yourself.
This question comes up everywhere. Job interviews, networking events, first dates, new friendships. And it can really set the tone for the conversation, so you want to get it right.
The key here is structure. You don't want to ramble on for 10 minutes about your entire life story. You need a clear, concise, and interesting answer.
We recommend using what we call the present, past, future formula. Let me explain. Start with the present, who you are right now. Then move to the past, the experiences that brought you to where you are today, and finish with the future, what you're working toward or interested in. Simple, right? Let's look at some useful opening phrases for the present part. You could say, "I'm currently working as a," or "I'm a," with experience in, or you could say, "I'm a who specializes in," or "right now I'm focusing on." Here's an example of a strong present statement. I'm currently working as a teacher at Lincoln High School, where I teach English to international students. Perfect. That's clear, specific, and immediately tells people what you do. Very natural. Now, for the past section, you want to briefly mention your background. You can use phrases like, "Before this, I," or "I started my journey in," or "My background is in." You might also say, "I studied at," or "I've built my experience through." Here's an example. I started teaching English after graduating from State University with a degree in education. Over the years, I've worked with students from all over the world, which has taught me so much about different cultures and learning styles.
Excellent. You're showing progression and achievement without going into too much detail. Finally, the future part connects your story to where you're heading. Use phrases like, I'm excited about, or what I'm working toward is, or I'm looking to. You could also say, I'm particularly interested in, or my goal is to.
Example: I'm excited to continue developing my teaching methods, and I'm particularly interested in using technology to make learning more engaging and accessible for students.
Beautiful. That shows you have direction and passion. See how it all flows together? Present, past, future, like a story.
Now let's expand your vocabulary so you can describe yourself more effectively. Let's start with basic introductions. The simplest way to introduce yourself is, Hi, I'm, or Hello, my name is.
You can add where you're from. I'm from, or I'm originally from. If you've moved around, you might say, I grew up in, but now I live in.
Here's a complete basic introduction. Hi, I'm Luke. I'm from Chicago, but I currently live in New York.
Simple and clear. Now let's talk about describing what you do. Instead of just saying, I'm a teacher, you can be more descriptive. Try, I'm currently working as a.
You could say, I'm a specializing in, or my job involves, or I spend my days. These phrases help you paint a clearer picture.
Examples. I work as a nurse at City Hospital. I'm a software developer specializing in mobile apps. My job involves helping companies improve their customer service.
Perfect examples. Now let's talk about describing your background and education. When talking about your education, you can say, I studied at, or I have a degree in, or I graduated from with a degree in.
If you're still studying, say, I'm currently studying, or I'm in my final year of. For work experience, use phrases like, I've worked in for years, or I have experience in, or I started my career in.
Example: I studied business at Lincoln University and graduated 3 years ago. Since then, I've worked in marketing for 2 different companies.
Great. Now let's talk about describing your interests and hobbies. This is where you show your personality. You can say, in my free time, or I enjoy, or I'm passionate about, or one of my hobbies is.
You might also say, I love, or I'm really into, or when I'm not working, I. Examples: in my free time, I enjoy reading and hiking. I'm passionate about photography. I love playing guitar.
These personal touches make you more relatable and interesting. Now, one crucial part of talking about yourself is highlighting your strengths and what makes you unique.
Right. You want people to remember you, so you need to share what makes you special. You can use phrases like, what I'm good at is, or one of my strengths is, or I'm known for.
You might say, what makes me unique is, or I pride myself on, or people often tell me I'm.
Here are some complete examples. What I'm good at is solving problems creatively. One of my strengths is connecting with people from different backgrounds. I'm known for being reliable and organized.
Notice how specific these are? Don't just say, I'm nice or I'm smart. Be specific about your actual strengths.
Exactly. Now let's talk about words to describe your personality. If you're friendly and enjoy meeting people, you might say you're outgoing, sociable, or friendly.
If you prefer quieter settings, you could say you're thoughtful, reflective, or introspective. If you're good at organizing things, try organized, detail-oriented, or methodical.
If you enjoy new experiences, say you're adventurous, curious, or open-minded. If you stay calm under pressure, use calm, composed, or level-headed.
Let's practice with some example sentences. Luke, can you give us one?
Sure. I'm a fairly outgoing person. I enjoy meeting new people, and I'm always interested in hearing different perspectives.
Great. Here's another. I'd describe myself as organized and detail-oriented. I like planning things carefully and making sure nothing falls through the cracks.
Perfect examples. Now let's talk about describing your goals and aspirations. This shows people where you're heading, which makes you more interesting.
You can say, my goal is to, or I'm working toward, or I hope to, or I'd like to. You might also say, in the future, I want to, or I'm planning to.
Examples. My goal is to become fluent in 3 languages. I'm working towards starting my own business. I hope to travel to every continent. In the future, I'd like to write a book.
These statements show you're forward-thinking and motivated. People appreciate that. Now let's talk about adjusting your introduction based on the situation.
This is really important. How you talk about yourself in a job interview is different from how you talk about yourself at a party or when meeting new friends.
Exactly. In a professional setting like an interview or networking event, focus more on your work, education, skills, and professional goals. Keep it relevant to work.
Example for a professional setting. Hi, I'm Luke. I'm a project manager with 5 years of experience in the construction industry. I studied civil engineering at State University, and I'm passionate about sustainable building practices. Right now, I'm working on several green building projects, and I'm really excited about the future of eco-friendly construction.
Perfect. That's professional, focused, and relevant. Now, in a casual social setting like a party or meeting new friends, you can be more relaxed and personal.
Example for a casual setting. Hey, I'm Luke. I'm from Chicago, but I moved here about 2 years ago for work. I'm in construction, which keeps me busy during the week, but on weekends I love hiking and trying new restaurants. I'm also teaching myself to play guitar, though I'm still pretty terrible at it.
See the difference? Same person, but the casual version includes humor, hobbies, and more personality. It's lighter and more relatable for a social situation.
Exactly. Know your audience and adjust accordingly. Now let's talk about some common mistakes people make when talking about themselves.
Mistake number 1. Sharing too much information. Some people, when asked to talk about themselves, launch into their entire life story from birth to present day. Don't do this.
Right. Keep it concise. Hit the key points and let the conversation flow naturally. If people want more details, they'll ask questions.
Mistake number 2. Being too modest or too boastful. There's a balance here. If you say, "Oh, I'm nobody special. I just work at a regular job," you're underselling yourself.
But if you say, "I'm the best employee my company has ever had and everyone loves working with me," you sound arrogant. Find the middle ground. Be confident but humble.
Instead of "I'm the best," try "I'm proud of the work I do," or "I've been fortunate to work on some great projects."
Mistake number 3, using only facts with no personality. If you just list facts, I'm 25, I studied business, I work in an office, you sound like a robot reading a resume.
Add some life to it. Share why you chose your field, what excites you, what you enjoy. Let your personality come through. People connect with people, not with lists of facts.
Mistake number 4, speaking in a monotone voice with no energy. Even if your words are good, if you sound bored or uninterested, people won't engage with you.
Show enthusiasm, vary your tone, smile while you speak, and let your passion for what you do come through in your voice and body language.
Mistake number 5, memorizing a script word for word. Hello, I am a qualified individual who studied at university and now works in an office.
Exactly. If you sound robotic or rehearsed, you'll come across as fake. Instead, prepare key points and practice the general flow. but allow yourself to speak naturally in the moment.
It's okay to pause and think. That shows you're being genuine. And mistake number 6, forgetting to ask about the other person. A conversation goes 2 ways.
After you introduce yourself, show interest in the other person. Ask, "What about you?" or "And yourself?" or "How about you?" This keeps the conversation balanced and shows you're genuinely interested.
Great point. Now let's put everything together with some complete practice examples. I'll go first with a professional introduction.
Great. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm currently working as a content writer for a digital marketing agency here in New York. I studied journalism in college and started my career writing for a local newspaper, but I transitioned to digital content about 3 years ago because I love the fast-paced, creative nature of online media. I specialize in creating engaging blog posts and social media content that helps brands connect with their audiences. Outside of work, I'm an avid reader and I enjoy exploring the city's coffee shops. My goal is to eventually publish my own book, so I'm working on a novel in my spare time. What about you?
Excellent. That hit all the key points. Current position, background, what you do, interests, goals, and you ended by inviting the other person to share. Perfect. My turn. Here's a casual social introduction.
Let's hear it.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm originally from California, but I moved to Boston about a year ago for work. I'm a graphic designer, which basically means I spend my days making things look pretty on computers. I love what I do because I get to be creative every day. When I'm not working, I'm usually trying out new recipes in the kitchen. I'm a bit of a foodie, or taking photos around the city. I'm also trying to learn Spanish right now, which is challenging but fun. I'm actually pretty new to Boston, so I'm still discovering the best spots. Do you have any recommendations?
Perfect. That was warm, friendly, and conversational. You shared professional info but kept it light, added personality with hobbies, and ended with a question that invites conversation.
Exactly. Notice how both of our examples felt natural, not scripted. We both showed personality while sharing relevant information.
And we both used the present, past, future structure naturally without it feeling forced.
Now, for those of you who are non-native English speakers, we want to give you some specific encouragement and tips.
First of all, don't apologize for your English before you even start. Don't say, "Sorry, my English isn't very good." That immediately plants doubt in people's minds.
Instead, speak confidently. You're learning, and that's impressive. Most people appreciate the effort you're making to communicate in their language.
If you need a moment to think about what to say, it's perfectly acceptable to pause or say, "Let me think for a moment." Everyone needs thinking time. That doesn't make you less capable.
And if you don't know a specific word, don't panic. You can describe what you mean in simpler words, or you can say, "I'm not sure of the exact word, but I mean."
Also, your multicultural background is actually a strength. Being from another country or speaking multiple languages makes you interesting and unique.
Don't hide this part of who you are. You might say something like, "I'm originally from Brazil," which gives me a different perspective on things. Or, "I speak 3 languages, which has taught me a lot about different cultures."
Yes, turn what you might see as a challenge into a strength. That's the right mindset.
Exactly. Your diverse background is valuable. Own it. You bring something unique to every conversation.
All right, everyone, let's recap what we've covered today. We talked about the key components of talking about yourself: basic info, background, interests, strengths, and goals.
We gave you the present, past, future structure for answering, "Tell me about yourself."
We expanded your vocabulary for describing who you are, what you do, your personality, and your interests.
We showed you how to adjust your introduction based on whether it's professional or casual.
And we covered common mistakes to avoid and gave you complete practice examples.
The most important thing to remember is this: you are unique. No one else has exactly your story, your combination of experiences, interests, and goals.
So own it. Present yourself confidently. Let your genuine personality shine through. And remember, talking about yourself gets easier with practice.
We encourage you to practice your own introduction using the structure we provided. Write it down, say it out loud, and refine it until it feels natural.
And if you want more help, leave a comment below. We read every single one, and your feedback helps us create content that's most useful for you.
If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Learn Simple English for more practical English lessons.
Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you have an interesting story to tell. Don't be afraid to share it.
We believe in you. Now go out there and introduce yourself with confidence.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.